This presentation focuses on how we arrived at social impact measures as a result of an academic-practitioner partnership. For marginalized and vulnerable populations in developing countries, a plethora of organizations across sectors exist with the goal of providing financial and non-private financial support to entrepreneurs with the hopes of improving their livelihoods, such as their conditions of poverty, vis-a-vis entrepreneurship opportunities and the success in those entrepreneurship opportunities. While much research has gone into doing so, there are many challenges in measuring how such programs causally do so. This stems from the following challenges. First, many organizations and academics fall into the measurement for measurement's sake. Either they measure something because a funder has asked the organization to do so, or sometimes we as academics measure things because the data was available or could loosely be analyzed for academic publication. Second, accessing data is complicated. For example, randomized control trials are really difficult to actually complete. They're time-consuming in that many populations might be harder to access, and improvements are likely to take place over longer periods of time. They're also very costly. Similarly, and third, poverty measurement is contextually dependent. So, for example, what is necessary for Indigenous populations in Canada may have different needs and assessment than tech entrepreneurs in Kenya. And last, much of our research is often collected as secondary or post hoc data or at a much higher meso level, for example, the Sustainable Development Goals, largely because of our need to generalize across populations or contexts, a paradox to the third point. So to address some of these issues, we are working with an NGO that has the following mandate. Their goal is to improve economic resilience for an underserved population, specifically Indigenous women in Latin America. Their population of interest is to support livelihood-sustaining enterprises by funding and providing training support, which is an overlooked population, especially in microfinance and other financial resource support systems, largely due to the aforementioned challenges. This NGO has a $1 million grant to support those entrepreneurs through a loan and training program over the course of 3 years. Often, there's a bifurcation in how practitioners and academics measure the so-called social impact. Practitioners' goals are often to fit their measurement to their own theory of change and make it translatable to funders or other important stakeholders, so having internal and external measures, but also actually improving the conditions of their beneficiaries, because that is why they exist in the first place. On the other hand, academics need measurement to fit a particular theoretical lens and subsequently translate that to an academic audience, which is very different than funders or other stakeholders that NGOs speak to often. And subsequently, it's mostly to generalize to additional contexts or theories. To align this, we are working with the organization to capture specific variables that they need. So specifically, they're looking at income improvement of those businesses, employment growth, and what roles those entrepreneurs that they work with play in their communities over the 3 years. However, these objective measures don't necessarily give us the whole picture of the program's effectiveness, nor tell us much about how women in such conditions address issues in sustaining and improving their business. So, our research aims to capture a more complete picture of how to improve such conditions by identifying additional factors that may impact women entrepreneurs in their quest for successful business and poverty improvement, such as empowerment, social capital, and some of these additional measures. To do so, we are augmenting the NGO's program by adding 3 additional components that have taken place over the course of a year of working alongside the organization through a myriad of conversations, consulting opportunities, listening to the beneficiaries, etc., to better understand how the program works, how the individuals within those programs work, and what will be the most effective use of the time and minimal resources that the NGO has. First, we are implementing an SMS experience sampling study that the researchers are in charge of collecting and analyzing the data. Entrepreneurs will provide an audio diary account of the problems and opportunities that they experience in real time according to the implementation of the NGO. Second, by adding additional questions to the organization's existing data collection, we're able to ask some questions that we'll analyze on our end, but be able to translate for the NGO. And third, we have access to the applicants who applied but did not get approved for a loan or part of the program, and so they will serve as a close control group, especially those who are close in quality in one way or another. Our hope in this study is to show how partnering with an organization over a period of time can lead to improved rigor around social impact measurement. We are co-designing the research, as I mentioned, which allows for greater trust among the parties, collecting data in real time, and pivoting if something isn't working. We also minimize that notion of measurement for measurement's sake by being able to truly understand what the NGO needs in terms of their own beneficiaries and their own stakeholders, as well as how it translates to an academic audience. That way, we can have a practical impact rather than just saying a couple of paragraphs at the end of a manuscript that details some of the implications. Our aim is for lasting mutually beneficial results as a result of those measurements that we're looking at. So 5 minutes is not too much time to detail an entire co-design project, but we welcome suggestions and opportunities for collaboration in the future. Thank you so much.